before we start, do you have insurance?
What?
Your coverage good? Like, do you have dental?
Oh, haha.
Is there a hospital nearby? Is it, like, too far?
About like 25 minutes, I'd say.
Oh, I just slapped you. Are you all right?
What?
What have you learned from Dalton? Do you wish you were more like him in any sense?
Well, what I learned from Dalton, well, first of all, I love the character when I read it. There are like 4 scenes that I first read that made me want to do it. The first one was that slap fight scene where he says, like, do you have dental and all that stuff.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's where, like, you really get
It's
to know
funny.
the character.
Mm-hmm.
Where he goes, like, do you have insurance and all that stuff. That's when you go, okay, this guy's, like, there's
Cool.
stuff to play there. And then, you know, he always had this, like, wry sense of humor. And he was always still until he didn't need to be. I have learned that, particularly there in performance, like, there's a real power in stillness. And that, to me, is particularly in a place in, like, when you're on stage or things like that, that's a place in which we tend to want to do a lot of moving around, you know, to, like, prove our existence.
Prove status.
there.
People run from silence.
Yeah.
And so to me, like, that, I learned from him. He's a very still character.
It's really cool.
And I really like that about him.
Do you like to see yourself on the screen acting, or are you more like,
I don't know. I enjoyed watching the movie and watching all our hard work and the creation we made. And I enjoyed sitting beside director Doug Lyman and my co-star Jake Gyllenhaal, who put in a tremendous amount of work, and this is their life. This is their life. So, you know, to see how passionate they were and how committed they were, and then to see it take shape, I was very honored and proud to be present and be there with them.
So you like to fight? You ever win?
No one ever wins a fight.
This ain't the Holiday Inn, pal.
I'll move it.
one of the things that I really liked about Dalton is how he knows his limits and his boundaries very well. Like, he knows when to push and when not to. Do you guys know your limits, your boundaries? Are you self-aware about them?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's the thing that I think is interesting. I mean, he's the kind of character that ends up being, like, in a position where, for instance, like, Conor's character, he's sent in to push that space, you know what I mean? And that's where the movie really becomes really, I think,
Of course.
almost like a different movie. Like, it's actually sort of where the movie becomes really fun, you know? But yeah.
And that scene that you have with Billy.
Oh,
You
the scene where he
know-
comes in, he says that piece of
Yeah, you put salt on your wound, I think. I felt that.
I think with my personal boundaries, like in my 20s, I think your 20s are you still hang out with people that you don't want to, and you still do shit that you don't want to. And then now I'm in my like mid 30s, I'm approaching. I'm like, oh, I don't do what I don't want to do, and I don't hang out with who I don't want to. So my boundaries are like, wisdom is being more comfortable with your boundaries and saying no. And now at this age, every year chips away at my like, do I care to push my boundaries? And it's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. That's just getting older, hopefully.
So when you were offered to be part of this movie, you probably had lots of thoughts about how acting would be and how to be on a set would be. Is it harder than you thought? Is it easier than you thought?
Yeah, no, it's a very difficult game. It's very tough. You know, the workload is very heavy, and then if you factor in the action scenes, and you know, I was doing my own stunts. We were fighting in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and you know, if the shot was not right, get up on the boat, climb back up on the boat, and go again. And I'm there in the water for 18 hours straight. Whoa. So it was tough. But, you know, I'm very happy that it's in the bank for life. And, you know, I'm happy to have played my part.
Once Knox is on the job, it's over, baby.
It takes a lot to get me angry, but when I am, I just can't let go.
The day you tell your grandkids about this experience?
Well, you know, they'll have to be of age because it's you know, I'm naked first of all. So
I know.
I don't think I'll show my kids.
What are you gonna tell them?
I'm gonna say, well, you know, my kids were there when I was practicing my lines. I was talking to the wall. I was practicing my lines talking to a wall. And then at one stage I turned around and my 3 children were sitting there looking at me. Why is Daddy talking to the wall? So, you know, acting it's a strange craft, and you know. But we're talking maybe I would do a children's one or maybe, you know, an audio type of one. So maybe I will do that for my children.
Hey, fellas. Looks like you're having a smashing night. Doggy! I got a tip for you. Don't let no one get this close.
Do you guys ever wonder how it would be like if you had to start all over again? Like something happened? And
Yeah, that's
what
nice.
would you guys do, like, if you had to start all over again?
I go to Japan probably and live there for a while.
Really?
It's my favorite place. I'd live there and I'd just like open up a bar, speak Japanese fluently, and
Do you want to learn Japanese?
I do. I kind of like have already taken lessons.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I just need to keep going, and I'd be a musician probably.
Cook, yeah, chef.
You be a chef?
Yeah, I really
Are you
like-
doing anything to be a chef?
I cook all the time, yeah.
Are you a good cook?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm a terrible cook, but I cook.
Okay.
No, I've been cooking since I was a kid, and so, like, to me, there's nothing better than, like, to me, always, you know, cooking for the people that I love. Like, that's a thing that I enjoy so much. I cook all the time. I don't want to. It's something I love and I think I'm good at, and it brings the people that I love a lot of joy. So
What's
that
your favorite
exchange.
food to cook, or is it just everything? Anything?
You know, it's not there's not a favorite thing. It's
Yeah.
mostly like I love ingredients and I love going to the market and buying ingredients and then figuring out what to cook. Or I am sort of obsessive with reading cookbooks, and so
That's
like
nice.
that's kind of my favorite thing.
Do you mind dishes? Like, do you do the dishes?
Oh,
Do you
I
like
love
it?
dishes. No,
Really?
I'm like obsessive with
Oh,
dishes
that
too.
is
I
so
love doing the
tight
dishes.
and hot.
Someone
I
said-
hate. I that is so hot and cool. Like, that is so cool and hot.
Someone
You
said-
love doing the dishes?
Someone
I love
said to
doing
me-
the dishes. It's
there's a-
relaxing.
Yes,
You're
I
hot.
agree with
You're
you.
hot.
There's
That's
a
crazy.
there's a cookbook that I love that came out last year, and there's a section, a chapter in it called "Cooking is Cleaning," and I think it's so true. Like to me, like you can't have one without. You obviously can't have one without the other, but like you have to enjoy that as well. Like I think.
Yeah,
Because it's a
that's-
process, particularly the amateur cook. You know, it's like the amateur cook is that's what it's about. To me, the joy of thinking about going out and going shopping. I mean, you have to answer your question about that.
I don't
Sorry,
cook.
We're like,
Yeah, I know,
we're
we're
like kind of Danielle doesn't
You
I
know.
don't
cook?
cook. No, no.
Yeah, no, me neither.
I just have food to survive. I'm not that passionate.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
respect you guys.
Yeah, no, some
But what's the
working
thing
women,
you would
we need
wanna
a man
do?
that wants to cook and do dishes, dude.
The thing. I would love to sing, but that's something that I will explore
Oh,
when
you
it's the
probably
right
have a beautiful
time.
voice. I can hear it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Damn, I wouldn't change a damn thing.
You wouldn't?
Nah.
So you would still be a fighter?
I'd still be a fighter, doing everything. Why would I? I'm very happy and I wouldn't change a thing. No regrets.
People seem a little aggressive around here.
Is that one a friend of yours?
No, I just broke his arm.
Cine, música, series, libros, teatro, artes plásticas, gastronomía, todo el mundo de la cultura y el entretenimiento aquí en El Tiempo. Suscríbase al canal de YouTube del Tiempo, que además es gratis, y le mandamos notificaciones de nuevos videos.